You broke your pelvis in a gorilla suit?
Yeah.
What's the longest time from an injury you've ever taken off from skating?
About 2 months, I broke my pelvis. And that was, I mean, if you want to talk about lowlights, that was probably one of the lowest times of not my career, but my life and my motivation, because that seemed like it could have been a career ender.
How old were you?
Good question. I think I was 38.
And where were you?
36. I was at Bob Burnquist's ramp shooting an episode of Wildboyz.
Oh, okay.
And
Damn, on the show. So this is
yeah.
Did this make the episode?
Well, we had all the skating done before I got hurt for the most part for what they needed. So it's in the episode is done, like we're in it, and you wouldn't know any better if you watched it. But thankfully Jeff Tremaine, who's the director of Jackass and Wildboyz, and he locked the footage away and didn't ever even really acknowledge it. That was for my benefit. And then it wasn't until years later when I had finally recovered and MTV was doing Scarred. The show Scarred was like, "What's your worst injury?" And they hit me up and they said, "What's your worst injury?" I go, "Well, it was shooting for you guys."
No shit.
And they didn't even know.
Right.
And I said, "Well, you got to talk to Tremaine," and Tremaine gave it to him. And so it's there. But basically we had just come off, I mean, it was like 2 days after our Huck Jam tour that we did 30 shows across the country. On our ramp, we had one of those big air mega ramps jumps in the show. We had a loop in the show every night, right? We were doing this. And Bob told me, "Hey, the Wildboyz are going to come to my house because they have I think it was an orangutan that skates." And so they're going to bring the orangutan and he's going to skate my ramp. And then they want me to dress up in a monkey suit and we'll skate with the orangutan. And I was like, that sounds awesome because I've been on tour for 5 weeks. I'll bring my kids. They can see the monkey, the primate. And that's super cool, right? And so I brought my kids. I brought my friend too because my kids were really young then. They were like 6 and 4 maybe. And I knew I was going to be skating. So we did the thing, the orangutan. It was amazing. I mean, he really did really skate. Yeah, he didn't like it if you got ahead of him though, because if you got ahead of him, he would jump off and come out after you. For real.
When did you realize that?
I saw that happen to Bob because Bob was skating with it first and he got ahead and I was like,
"Oh, I'm not fucking with an orangutan."
I'm standing back with that
hell
one.
Yeah, they'll rip your arms off.
So then we dress up in our monkey suits and we do a routine, like a doubles routine that we had done in all the nights of the Huck Jam. And then at some point, Bob has this loop at his house. His loop is super rickety. It's old. It's outdoors. It's wood. It's not the quality of the one that we were doing on the tour. But in our excitement, we said, "Monkey loop, let's do the loop. Yeah, woo." And so we go over to his loop and I should have known right at this moment, but Bob dropped in and went around and fell. He didn't fall hard, but he fell on his way out. That's Bob's own personal loop.
Right.
That he can't make in this moment.
Yeah.
Right. And we've been doing, like I said, we've been doing it on our show every night. And so I'm thinking, just adjust for it. I went around and fell on the way out too, because it was so weathered that it was slow. And the first rule of doing loops is do not pump your legs all the way through. That's it. Like if anyone listening want to do a loop, here's the secret. You hold it for a half a pump because it's not a trick. It's actually a ride.
A momentum thing? It's
like when you ride a roller coaster and you go all the way around, you never know the moment you're exactly upside down. You know what I mean?
Yes,
because
I do.
there's so much inertia that's holding you to the track. It's like that, but you have to have the perfect amount of speed and the perfect amount of pressure on your legs pushing the board into the wall. If you let your legs extend, you got nowhere to go and you come off.
So you're always going down, you're pressing in.
You're always pressing in sort of halfway, but you need the right amount of speed to do that. Bob's starting ramp was not steep enough to get that amount of speed with how weathered the ramp was. That's the key. So in my infinite wisdom, my next turn, I dropped in and I pumped going into the loop full extension of my legs. And that's it. That's the kiss of death.
So
I'm spinning in the air as I'm going upward. So I actually spun up to the top and then kept spinning and landed on the ground.
you broke your pelvis in a gorilla suit?
Yeah. Broke my pelvis, right, this thumb. So,
The orangutan came by you and give you the finger. Like, that's what you get.
I don't remember much after that. I was out cold.
It knocked you out?
Yeah, I was out cold. Fractured my skull right here.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah. And fractured my skull, fractured my thumb, broke my pelvis. I woke up, like, I've had concussions in the past, so I know, I sort of know the feeling and the protocol of it. I came to, even though I was probably talking and whatnot, but I came to like fully mentally when they were putting me in the ambulance because it hurt so much as they moved me in my hip that's kind of what shocked me awake. And I said, oh, something is wrong with my hip. And they said, oh, we'll x-ray it. They were just kind of playing it down. And I remember saying, where are my kids? And they said, oh, your friend already took them home. And luckily they were on the other side of the ramp. They didn't see me fall.
Good, yeah.
They just knew something had happened. So he took them home. And basically I spent about 6 weeks just sitting in bed. Because there wasn't much. It wasn't like they needed to fuse it together or anything. It was still in line,
Mm-hmm.
so they just let it heal. I let it heal, and then played a lot of video games.